I mean, I think everybody has room to grow, and everybody has the ability. It's just like people say, well, how much is how do you define wealth in terms of how much is wealth? How much wealth do you consider being wealthy? The same is true with emotional wealth. How much emotional wealth do you need in your life to feel that you're emotional wealthy? And I think that's really up to each individual, what allows you to feel that sense of gratitude and appreciation, and also joy. I think joy is very important. I think we can express joy. I like to think, and joy is not that every day is a joy. Every single moment doesn't have to be joyous, because we are faced with challenges. That can be reality. But to be able to savor those joyous moments is very, very important. So one of the techniques is something that many folks are familiar with, and that's visualization. And that's a very powerful way to utilize the ways that our minds actually operate naturally. Our minds love to create pictures. And so what kind of pictures are you creating? Are you creating, not you necessarily, Jonathan, you're probably creating great pictures, but are we creating pictures of doom and gloom? Or are we creating pictures of positive expectancy? When you look at tomorrow, do you see a bright day, or do you see a day that's really filled with clouds? And I'm not just talking about the weather. And when you plan your goals, does it look like it's totally impossible to reach a goal, or do you have a sense of upbeat, positive expectation? So when you use visualization, and I'll give people some example, let's say that you really want to accomplish a particular goal in your life that would make you feel emotionally wealthy and on target with who you are. So one of the ways to do that is to create an image in your mind. Now, I also have a background in hypnosis and a background in working with image therapy and energy therapy, energy medicine. So what I think is important to people, because I hear people say, well, I can't create pictures. I can't, when I close my eyes, and I actually create pictures with my eyes open, because I need to do that a lot with my clients. So it helps me to just be able to see things without having to close my eyes. So you don't necessarily need to have a very vivid, very strong image. If I say to people, don't create an apple, don't see an apple in your mind's eye. Even though you don't want to, you're going to see some outline of an apple. It may not be red, it may not be very vibrant, but you'll have some sense or some feeling of what an apple is. And I think the same holds true for creating a visual image about what it is you want to achieve. And you can do that by, again, creating an image in your mind of that positive expectation. And what I do sometimes is take some people on a journey, on a creative journey, a creative expression journey, where they actually go inside and create what it is they would like to have, whether it's a wonderful house or a family or more wealth or attain a particular goal, and be able to create that image in your mind as clearly as possible without beating yourself up if it's not that clear. But also, what's very paramount to this is creating the feelings, Jonathan, that go along with it. So you're not only having an image, whether it's vague or whatever, but you're also creating the feeling. How would I feel when I have that right relationship? How would I feel when I have more joy? How would I feel when I reach that goal? What's it feel like? How do I look? What would I be doing on that moment? And that's a way to really also change the immediate feeling. So it's twofold. It actually helps to create a message internally to our minds as to this is what we want to bring to ourselves, and yet it also has a wonderful impact on how we feel. It's very difficult to feel down and out when you're creating a wonderful feeling and a wonderful experience of just having achieved a goal or just having reached your heart's desire, because you're filled with that sense of accomplishment, you're filled with that sense of joy, and you can't help but feel good about it. So visualization is one way.
Right. And just to re-emphasize what you said, that visualizations without feelings are much, much less effective than visualizations where you conjure up all those great feelings about whatever it is that you're visualizing.
Right. The other piece that goes with it is belief. Because I've had people say, oh, Dr. White, that's great, but I can't really believe that. I can create the image, and I can somewhat conjure up some of those feelings, but I'm not convinced. Well, you have to kind of play a game with yourself. And it's part of imagination, because our minds really have wonderful imagination. Everyone out there, even though some of you who are saying, I'm not imaginative, I'm not creative, I say that's not true. We're all creative beings. We have such wonderful creative abilities and such wonderful talents and abilities within ourselves that we probably haven't even